Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today I wanted to do a June 2025 state of the market, or in particular, the current and market status here in Detroit, Michigan, or Metro Detroit, which kind of have some knowledge and kind of have some information from across the country, just from a lot of other brokers and people I talk to, as well as a lot of data that I'll study and a lot of data that is published by the NAR, for example. I also wanted to talk about a few conversations that I'm having with sellers and buyers, just because there's a lot of common questions that may be coming up that you might have, or things that I hear about from my clients. So if there's anything else that I don't cover or that you want some more elaboration on, just give me a call, text, DM, shoot me a message, whatever's easiest for you. First and foremost, unfortunately, interest rates are just not coming down like we hoped they would. They're still staying in that 6.7% range, and maybe we get them to lower this year like we hoped, but it's not going to be for a little while, and unfortunately it's going to cause more of a stagnation the longer they continue at the elevated rate, where our economy and our inflation have corrected a good amount. It's not great yet, so I guess I understand it. However, a lot of the indicators show that the interest rates should be coming down, so hopefully that does happen soon. So April 2024 market stats came out. We had a 24% increase year over year in on-market listings. Now, that doesn't mean new listings necessarily. Those were also up about 8%. Basically, listings on market, and that has to do with increasing in listings, but also just listings taking longer to sell. The days on market are increasing. So what does that mean? As a seller, that means you have much more competition, and the pricing has to be a little more aggressive. Otherwise, your property may sit, or buyers may be a little more picky, right? So on the buyer end, the buyers are taking their time a bit more. They're able to shop multiple homes compared to before. There was not quite as much, and they are able to typically offer a little less than before because of the inventory and because homes are sitting on the market taking a little longer to sell. It's just that supply and demand. So next up, with the days on market extending and the pricing, I'm having a lot of conversations with my sellers. Basically, with the days on market extending, prices are becoming a little more flat. We're not seeing that nice appreciation that we have been used to and we're had the past 2 to 3 years since 2020 essentially. And the sellers have to be a little more aggressive on the pricing. We have to offer a little more, a little better condition, because again, the buyers are being more picky and they're gonna put in a lower offer. Maybe they're not gonna come look at the house if they feel it's not worth it anymore, just because they have so many other options to look at, or they know there's a lot of homes being listed. This is always a great market for us in June. We are a little seasonal here just because of the seasons we have. So summertime being a very strong time, and especially if you have a lakefront home, for example, there's no better time than right now. So with that being said, we are having to reduce prices. We are seeing price reductions here increasing, and it's kind of been that way this year. And it's a weird market in the sense of some homes may come on the market and fly multiple offers, 100,000 over asking price. I'm talking, crazy. And then you have some homes that will sit. And that's just depending on the price, the condition, and the marketing. Those are the three most important things. Even I've heard across the country, we have a lot of weird markets where you might have very low inventory still, but prices are also still coming down. So it's kind of funny. I guess it depends on the market trends in that area, or also maybe even just that local or hyper-local economy and what's going on there development-wise, movement-wise, etc. Another interesting thing is we're starting to see a little more tactics. You're seeing brokers get a little more creative in doing things like reverse offers, or doing more aggressive price reductions, or offering some sort of bonuses or extra compensation from a seller, for example, to a buyer's agent or to a buyer to get them to write an offer. It truly is going back to the days of being a beauty contest and a pricing war, and this is what it's going to take right now for your home to stand out and to sell. And now again, there are still homes that are getting multiple offers or selling highest and best, over asking price, phenomenal offers. However, we are seeing those numbers decline, and I think we're going to continue to see that trend. I also wouldn't be surprised if we start to really see days on market extending and staying longer. So I think we got a little bit used to fast sales and homes going very quickly within a week or less, and there may be a day sometime soon potentially where we do see more normal extended days on market. Maybe 60 days becomes the new normal, or even potentially a little more, compared to right now we're still closer to that 30 to 40 range in most markets. So if I'm on the buyer side, for example, and if I put that buyer hat on, I'm thinking about when I see a home, if there is any offers right now, I'm going to look into what kind of pricing I could potentially get, what kind of price reduction we can get, what kind of potential concessions we can get to help me with my closing costs, and also what kind of updates may be required, and maybe you can request those to be completed by the seller, or again, do some sort of other creative way to get the bargain and to get the home basically at a better price to make sense for you as a buyer in this market. And again, for my sellers, this is something we have to keep in mind, what these buyers are thinking. If you want to beat our competition or potential other homes on the market, we have to be mindful of this and price correctly from the beginning. One conversation I've been having with a lot of my sellers, and especially if you're selling your home and you're in this position on the market where you might get some good showings and some good activity, but you're really not getting any offers, it means that you have a good home and it's showing well, but unfortunately you're still the highest bidder. What I mean by that is the price is just too high and no one else is willing to bid what you're asking. So that's where potentially some adjustments are going to need to be made. Also, make sure you're working with a good aggressive broker with a strong marketing plan, and also somebody that's willing to do a little bit extra as far as more knowledgeable, offer extra services, a little more expertise, and a little more of that different approach that would help a lot. Especially if you have a lot of active listings around you, you can get lost in that very easily. So finally, I wouldn't be surprised if the average or median sale price continues to only rise at a slower normal pace, somewhere between a 2 and 5% compared to us seeing a lot more recently, and continuing this way for quite a while, unless we do get that interest rate drop or some reason, something crazy black swan event happens. Otherwise, you can probably expect that trend to continue as well. All right, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with some friends who might need some good real estate advice. Or of course, if anything I can do to help you out, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.